relationship back up again to get everything accustomed. Then you can still have Abby come in and do that, but I still think it'd be better to build to it. So then you have the Abby parts. So then you get to see like, oh, here's what life is like outside of like this really cozy camp that they formed in this community.
Then just killing him off 10 minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so much, as opposed to just like a cold kill off like at the very beginning.
I was fine with that.
Yeah.
It was a strong opening, and then
why? What makes it a strong opening? It's just like
I don't think the flashback should have been at the start. That the flashbacks throughout the story.
No, there wouldn't be flashbacks at that point. They wouldn't be. Like in my version, it wouldn't be flashbacks. You would just go through those things quickly, and then you get to the current day.
Okay, but the flashbacks throughout the story really serve to drive home, Ellie's emotional turmoil or her motivation. So that's why I think they're placed throughout the game. They're kind of to remind the audience, hey, they had a strong relationship. Ellie loved this guy. And that's why
but by the point those fucking flashbacks come in, you probably already forgotten who the fuck Joel is. It happens in like the first 10 minutes. Like,
well, that's why they're there to remind you, why you should care about this.
And that's just dumb. Like that death should have been far more like impactful. Like it shouldn't have just come as like this cold open.
I mean, for new players, I can get why it wouldn't be impactful, maybe, but like I think it was very impactful.
The way that I think they could have done it that would have been interesting and kept the impact on this is if you bounce back and forth between the two in a better way. So let's say you start The Last of Us 2 and you're playing as Ellie and you have like I don't know, current day or flashback scene up to them and you play for a bit and then it cuts to Abby after only a scene or two. And you go, oh, it's a new character. We're seeing another perspective. This is like, how are they going to meet? What's going to happen? So you play through Abby's story a little bit. Then you go back to Ellie. Then you go back to Abby. And then the shocking twist is you're playing as Abby and you find out she was the daughter of the doctor. And you get to the scene where she kills Joel. And now you're conflicted because you're like, well, I was playing as Ellie and I got more of The Last of Us, but I was also playing as Abby and I liked her sequences and it showed like a different perspective. And I didn't know she was going to turn out to be a bad guy. Oh, fuck.
And I think that'd be interesting. Now you hate someone that you liked initially. I feel
as opposed to hating someone
that's way more interesting.
Hating someone and then learning to over time.
But you don't. I don't think there was ever a moment where it's like, oh, okay, well this feels good. Like, I don't see.
I feel like front loading the understanding of her character and her motivation kind of long term does a disservice to it, because the way it's laid out currently is she does the bad thing first. And then you spend an amount of time dissecting why she did that and understanding her motivation. And that's where it leaves off towards the ending, where, the what do you call it? The fight between them happens or whatever. So I think you need to have that understanding later in the game, personally.
I kind of get that. I get what you're saying and how that can be effective. Yeah. But I think it would have more weight if you didn't. So I think the problem with that is that it takes away from the buildup of Joel and Ellie from the previous game. If you gave them a bit of both, so that bouncing back and forth with Ellie and Abby, so you're feeling the nostalgia, you're feeling the buildup from the previous game, you're like living in the conclusion, but you're also getting a new story, a new buildup, someone new to connect to. I think then when Joel gets killed, if you put that more towards like the climax of the game, the late middle, it would have a lot more impact, because then it throws everything on its head. Like, oh god, I built all that stuff up with Ellie and now it's gone, and oh shit, I grew to like Abby and now that's fucked and I don't know what to do. Oh fuck, what do I feel?
I think that's a much stronger stance, because like even just looking in the chat, no one liked playing as Abby after they killed Joel. Nobody. Yeah. It was miserable. And you spent 11 hours or so playing as Abby.
Kaya, you were playing a fucking arcade game when you played.
I get that emotion. I get that emotion, but I enjoyed playing as Abby because I got to expand on her character. I enjoyed seeing her character.
But why? Okay, for you, maybe, I guess it's like, oh, okay, well, why did she do that? For most players, it's like, I don't really care why she did that. It's like, I didn't know anything about her. She just came in as this boogeyman and killed the character that I loved. I don't really want to play as her.
Yeah, but you're meant to engage with the narrative and dig deeper. That's the point of these narrative games. You're meant to understand the characters.
And you can understand them from the beginning and then even sympathize with her decision and when she makes it.
Yeah, but we're talking about an entirely different story then. If the killing happens towards the end or the middle of the end.
Yeah, like towards the middle. If you just placed all of the same beats in different orders, it'd be much more effective. I think the way Andrew described it sounds like a much more compelling narrative, where you're
just talking about a more linear order. Well, but
that's not linear at all. That bounces back and forth between times and characters. and then they
linear
come
in terms
together
of
at the
events,
end.
though. You're talking about putting the more of the like flashbacks towards the start, so you build up the relationship between Ellie and Joel.
Just get off the flashback thing. Just sideline that in your brain, even without.
But you're saying more time with Ellie and Joel.
Yeah, and with Abby, so that way you can see what Abby's doing and get a whole new perspective on life outside of this comfy camp that Ellie and Joel are in now.
The way that I see it, Jackson, is you could build up a rapport with Abby, because you could have an air of mystery. We know what Ellie and Joel are all about. The first game was their entire story. So
that's
their
why I don't
part,
think we need anything there.
yeah, but their part is going to be more of a continuation of that. You have their established things, their flashbacks, their relationship. You get another instance of what you get in the first game with Sarah, where you go, oh, now look, Ellie and Joel are building that kind of actual father-daughter relationship. Like we got bits of that in the first game and we built up to it, but now we get to see them interacting in that light and what's going on and how they've changed and how they've grown. And then Abby is your new quote-unquote protagonist. Oh, what is she about? What's she doing? What's her camp like? Oh, she's still struggling and she's like fighting more of a war. It's not as personal. She's got like recruits and all these people and these organizations and oh shit, what's this building up to? And then it culminates in the Joel
I just don't think
murder.
that's compelling, though. I don't think that stuff is compelling.
How is that more compelling than her just going and killing Joel instantly and then you spending 11 hours trying to empathize with her?
It's not compelling because we got no reason to care about her in any way at that beginning, but she's killed Joel at this point, so we have a compelling reason to hate her at least. And
how is that?
But then they spend the rest of the game forcing you to like her. So the biggest thing I had,
I don't
with
think
The
they
Last of
force
Us
you to
2
like her.
Oh, they 100% do.
No,
why is it that
Ellie, her character, but that isn't forcing you to like her. It's giving
Jackson,
you the
why is it
opportunity
that
to make
Ellie-
a decision whether you like her or not.
Why is it that Ellie spends the entire game murdering dogs and pregnant women, but Abby spends the entire game hanging out with her friends and feeling sad that they're dead? Because they're forcing you to like Abby. It's writing. It's the writing that's doing it. That's the biggest problem I have with The Last of Us 2. I didn't care that much that they went super dark and super dour and we're like, we're going to take everything from Ellie. That's fine. It's a depressing, dour universe. But they painted Ellie as this like fucking killing machine monster that we didn't spend an entire game growing attached to.
She was going on a mission of vengeance. That was the entire...
But she, in the entire
I think
first
the
game, was this
psychology-
likable character.
I think it checks out because it's like it's easier to forgive someone that you hate. Someone that you love than it is to grow to understand and empathize with someone that you hate from the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is in Ellie's cutscene, she's like stabbing a pregnant woman in the neck. She's killing a fucking dog. She's like killing people who have friends. And they're like, oh no, Jeff. Oh. But then when Abby shows up, her whole scenes are she plays fetch with a dog.